The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
I don't think we've got any. Oh, there is somebody over there. You just never know. Just the sound of one hand clapping in the engineering space today. What do we got going on? Well, we're up 14 points on the S&P cash. The Nasdaq's down 12. Dow's up 51. Russell's up 17. And I've been watching for the last hour a virtuoso performance by high-frequency traders running the market up and down, up and down. Don't really know if there's any signal in all of this noise, but certainly they try to run it down, then they try to run it up real fast, then they try to run it down real fast, and it's been a whole lot of nothing for the last hour. Not a lot of volume in it, so it looks to me like we've got this trading range that's set up, and the big thing will be whether or not they can break through this. We're kind of on the downside of that now at 2671 on the S&P cash. We'd gotten over 2700. And then everybody and their dog decided it was time to short the market. So what should we do? Well, I know what I'm going to do, which is sit on my hands and wait for the last 30 minutes of the day, because these high-frequency traders, along with a handful of retail traders during the day, don't have a great deal to say about where the market actually goes long-term. But certainly during the day, they can stand back and we can watch the high-frequency traders go at it. And I guess we're now off, 24 on the NASDAQ. There's just no volume behind it, either on the upsides or the downside. Just looks like they're trying to find stops, anybody's stops, and run them in or out of the market. And again, I think with dark pools now and most of the trading going on behind the scenes, we're seeing today that no one wants to get in front of the rise of the machines, of those high-frequency traders running everything in, at least in a short time frame. What else do we have going on? Well, certainly we do have nice volume in the markets. And again, huge amounts of market volume in the indexes, very light volume in the actual stocks, most of the stocks. There are some that there are an exception with. 4.7 billion shares already traded totally. My guess is we're going to have a huge skew of those in the dark, or not in the dark pool, but from the high frequency traders today. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648, and we'll keep an eye on everything. In the meantime, let's do a little history. Oh. And we're going to go to, I guess we can already go to Push in California. How you doing today?
Good, David. How about you?
Fantastic. What's your question?
I have a question about Facebook, and another question about is I saw your chart making thing. I have seen some of the work of Tim ORD. So the difference I find is you are using some delta thing. Can you explain me that, as well as I'm coming to first time to your show, and I would like to know how to get your software which you have.
Okay. You go to the front page of TFNN and check it out. It's called The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. The lines that we have here, actually, it's an upside delta symbol. It's called an NAMLA. And it is, think about it as a way you get charged for electricity. You can have a little bit of electricity for a long time, or you can have your air conditioner on, probably not in San Jose, but if you're down here in Florida, your air conditioning runs, you can watch the meter just spin like a top. It depends on, how many amps, and it's a combination of volume, price movement, and time. So what we're looking at in these lines is I'm trying to figure out how much energy from the bottom to the top was consumed and then put back in on the backside. So when you really want to find something, in fact, we can do this a little bit differently here. We'll turn this down and get a few of these out. What you can find is if there was, if you're looking at the bigger moves, which is what this is all about, you're looking at the March 26th low to the July 25th high, and then back down to this low that's gone through the 149 low of 149 low.
David, I don't see a chart.
Okay, are you watching on Tiger TV?
I'm watching on YouTube now. I see the chart now.
Okay. Yeah, that's my engineer. He gets to pick when we're showing charts and when we're not. So hopefully you'll see it here for a little while. Anyway, you broke through that particular low. It did so on lighter volume. The energy was just slightly less on the way back down for Facebook. So the question is what you are trying to do with Facebook here.
I'm trying to enter the Facebook, and can you explain me this 13 delta, 12, and 15 delta, which you're showing right now?
Yeah, like I said, that's a combination of time, price change, and volume.
So basically, you're adding up the positive volumes and negative volumes, you're subtracting, something like that?
Kind of. I've done it more like the way that your electric bill is charged. Right? So some days are light, some days are heavy, and it depends on, how much volume and how much energy was in that day by the price, volume, and time that it took for that price change to occur over time. So
okay.
it is just think of it as energy expended, just like paying your electric bill. Sometimes that energy is on the way up. Sometimes that energy is on the way down. Now, the only thing I can say is that you really need to close back into 149.02 on light volume to get a buy signal on Facebook. Right now, it's down and it is on light volume. But the question is, how much farther do you want to go back to find the next low? And to tell you the truth, that's actually kind of tough. You don't have a significant low till 113.55. Now you broke the previous low, you did it on lighter volume, but to get any kind of signal, which you don't have now, you need to close back in 149.02.
So if it closes above 149.02, because tomorrow is the earnings, I think it should go up.
Well, we'll have to go to the break now. If you want to hang on, we'll talk on the other side.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait.
Okay.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're back. Do we still have San Jose on the line?
Thank you, David.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, the problem I see is this is one of these stocks that literally has to close back above 149.02 to get a buy signal, and then it's not going to be a great buy signal. Or it fails, and the next major low is 113.55. So the question is there a reason that you want to buy Facebook fundamentally?
The FANGs have been so much battered, and if the stock market has to go up, it is better to invest in the most battered name. That is why I'm picking up this one.
Okay, I would say that you'd want to look at another one. And the reason is that these guys have already stated they're spending the next year trying to figure out how to get everything right on their advertising. So why it may stick here, I don't know if there's a lot of money to be made in it. I could understand you're saying, hey, markets pulled back, this pulled back. That's good, but they've already said that it's probably going to take a year or two for them to get it right, and that's that huge gap down from 218 down to 166. The problem is that you can always have yet another gap down when you have big gaps like that. The risk is that you get yet another gap.
How about the counter rally?
Huh?
How about the counter rally? I see a counter rally here because it's fallen too far.
Yeah, I'm saying I particularly don't like this stock. I don't like it because they've already said that it's going to take them years to get it right.
Okay.
So for me, can it bounce? It can, but I would rather see a bounce in a company that isn't telling everybody that nothing's happening for the next year or two. I'm just not thinking that a lot of other people are going to see that and go, you know, that's what I'm going to get into, because they're going to have a huge pop because they've already told me it's going to take them another year or two to get everything right. See, that's okay. The psychology would be much better pull back on companies that have been doing well, or at least companies that are saying that they are turning something around, or that, you know, the market could change in whatever sector they're at. these guys already have told everybody things are getting worse, and they're not going to get any better until we get it fixed, and it's going to take us a long time to get it fixed. So I just think that you're going to have better bang for the buck in another stock.
Okay, thank you, David, for your advice.
Okay, yeah, look at a lot of other ones. If you want to be in the fangs, there's a lot of other stocks that could do a lot better. You had a much better pullback in Amazon and other ones. I'm not saying buy them. I'm just saying I think there are a lot better ones in that sector than Facebook. Okay.
How do you see NVIDIA as a leadership stock still maintaining its leadership, or it's going to go away?
It will still be the leader in its sector. They've got, I don't know, 70% of the video card business and 90% in the machine learning business. The downside to this one, again, technically, is it wants probably to test this 180.28, which is the December 5th low of 2017. If that got down there with the kind of volume we're seeing today, which is 10.6, if this thing can stay under like 17 million shares and test 180, or gets at least into that candle on light volume, I like this one a lot better because they're in the machine learning business, and that business is going to do nothing but get bigger and bigger. Now, they've had a huge pull-off of $100 already. There may be a fairly decent bounce. That bounce would probably go to 230, but you don't have a signal yet in that one to buy it either.
Somehow I like battered names.
I don't have a problem with battered names. I can tell you that one of the things that I look at is this huge run from October 2nd on NVIDIA back down to this 188.40 that we saw today. You've got a little bit more that you can get back into it, and you may, but right in the 180s, low 180s, you could buy it. But when these things come down like this, they'll normally have kind of a small bounce, and then they'll go sideways for a while, right? And normally the thing you want to see is catch something like NVIDIA after it's had maybe a couple of weeks of it just going from like 190 to 185 or 192 to 188, and just watch it go sideways for a while. That'll tell you that the big boys are in there, and they've got an order right under the price. So anytime it dips lower, they're out there buying it. But you'll probably get a little bounce out of this one, and then it'll go sideways for a while. So you may have a couple of weeks before you can get into this one. Does that make sense?
Thank you, David, for your advice.
You bet. There are a lot of stocks out here that are all set up. We're going to go through more of them today. So you may want to look at some of the other ones that maybe are not as big named, but you can see that they came back on much lighter volume. So just keep an eye on it. Now, the rest of the show here, I'll be going through a bunch of them.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. And yes, we've closed the gap. Apparently, there are new tariffs that they're talking about but not implementing. And everybody, it's Halloween, and they said boo, and they ran. And we're right back to unchanged on the S&P cash from Friday's close. So, man, you had a pretty wicked little move there, especially in the NASDAQ. The Russell still up fairly well, up 14. And, of course, the Dow now off at 63. Okay, so let's go ahead and start talking about some of these stocks that I wanted to look at, because I haven't had a chance to go through that many of them today so far. To see what else we have out here. Okay. Axion Enterprises. Like this way that this one's bouncing around $56. Got into 54.39 on October 15th with 800,000 shares. Kind of the same on that one, but some pretty good support at $55 or so. What else is out here that I wanted to look at? We'll go through many of these as we can. How much time I got? About a minute. Axcelis Technology. Now this one's down about 200,000 shares. I don't see any clear movement on that one. China leadership may retaliate against Apple. Something creep. Of course, they also may make a deal, and that would be the other side of that. Okay, so what do we have out here? Aflac. This one had a very good test come Friday. February 9th saw 7.5 million shares at 41.02. Got to 41.45 on Friday with just 4.6 million shares. This one's bounced and holding a fairly decent amount of its bounce today so far. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of the Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off 1.5 points on the S&P cash, down 67 on the NASDAQ, off 75 on the Dow. Russell's off or up, still 11 points. Let's go ahead and look at some of these other ones out here that are looking interesting. Aceto Corporation, ACET. I like this one. It's needs to close back above $2.20 to get a buy signal. That's from the April 23rd low. Certainly the last few days have been nothing but super light volume, 250,000 shares. If you're looking for a penny stock, This one's actually looking fairly good. I don't know about the background of the company that much, but we'll look at some other companies here too. Air Transport Services, another one that had a wonderful test of its low on May 3rd. ATSG on this one, $19.17. Got into it on Friday and reversed out of it with less than 200,000 shares of the previous low. And you're getting a little sideways action out here too, but pretty decent risk reward as long as it stays above $19.17. Avalar, we've talked about this one. I kind of like it going forward, especially on the tariff issues. Once this thing's after its lockup in IPOville. But fairly light volume down around this $32 area that's seen 750,000 shares. On Friday, just 290,000 shares. Today, about 212,000 shares. So at the point we're at now, still looking like we're breaking out some kind of low, or trying to bang out some kind of low. We'll look at the volume later on. What else do we have here? Okay. Low for the Carlyle Group, $18.90 on December 1st of 2017. 1.75 million shares got into it on Thursday with 871,000 shares. 492,000 shares Friday. Today, fairly light volume at 400,000 shares. CLNE, which is Clean Energy Fuels, another penny stock out here, but volume fairly light. August 8th, $2.15 with 4 million shares. Got into it with just a little under 1 million shares on the 24th, and you've been going by on what, about half a million shares so far today. Certainly, some of these things are down and they're so beaten up. But that's the pattern I'm looking at a lot more. Corcept Therapeutics in the biotech space, another one that has very light volume. This August 10th low, 11.15, excuse me, $11.55, he said. August 10th with 4 million shares. This one got in with 1.2 million shares of test of that low. As long as it continues to close above 11.55, you got a fairly decent low in. Let's see what else we have. Okay. And what do we have? $21, February 6th on Creato. Now, this company sells advertising in Europe. They've got a little doji ad here today. It's very interesting. But you saw a low at $22 with 16.6 million shares. Tried to get through that on February 6th. Pop back into the trading range. I suspect any move back into the trading range on this one could see a similar move. That one was from $21 to $31. So you've got a fairly nice setup, but you do need to close back above $22. Let's see what else we have. 8, EGHT. Okay. What do we have here? 5 million shares for the May 25th low. Yeah, 5.5 million shares. That was $17.15. You went through that with 1.2 million shares last Tuesday. Friday, you had 1 million shares. Today, 784,000 shares. Opened a little higher. You need to close back above $17.15. Let's see, what else do we have out here? Okay. What else do we have? August 7th, $2 on Valco Energy, EGY. This is another penny stock. $2, $4, 4.56 million shares. That's August 7th. Friday, you got into it with 500,000 shares, or like 1/10 of it. This one's hanging out at this level and not getting much attention. 176,000 shares so far. Take a quick look at Goldman Sachs. See if they can tell us what's going on. Nice pop in Goldman Sachs today. It is back into the trading range. It had a 6 million share low on October 11th, tested with a 4 million share low on the 24th. Thursday, 3 million shares. Friday, 3.5 million shares. Today's popped with 1.7, but still in that trading range, long as it is above $210.95 for the close. This one is still showing that you have a fairly decent sign of a low in here. Coors, we'll take a look at that. And this is Michael Coors, not the beer drinking Coors. This one has been banging out a low in the $56, $57 range for a while. Got down to $54.72 on Friday. A little bit of reversal out here today, but volume continues to be light. The problem you have in this one is a nice gap right here at about 52 bucks. Ideally, if this could get to 52 bucks and continues with a incredibly light volume, that would be a long-term buy signal in that one. LogMeIn had earnings last week. I think we talked a little bit about this one. This is the old Citrix Systems that was PC Anywhere and a handful of other communications and collaboration programs. Gapped up fairly nice on Friday on the earnings, 3.5 million shares. Going a little sideways out here. Certainly had a great low come in, and that is this test of the July 27th low at 77.05. Got to 74.87, and of course, gapped up the next day on earnings, but that low came in on 1.5 million shares compared to that 7.5 million shares. So that one is interesting. We're off 2 now on the S&P cash, 73 on the NASDAQ, and off 92 on the Dow. Russell's off or up 7 3/4. Again, any tariffs probably bias to the Russell a bit, thinking that they will avoid most of them. Okay, what else do we have out here? Could be worse. Not much, but it could be worse. See what else we have out here. Looks okay. What else? We'll take a look at some other ones. MPC, which I think has earnings later this week. If I'm not mistaken, it comes in on Thursday. We'll look at this one when we come back. Volume's a little bit much. We may go to another one. Be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks!
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back flat on the S&P, NASDAQ up 65, Dow's off 90, and Russell's still in it, up 7, I'll call it 7.5. Marathon Petroleum, I didn't see that earlier when I was looking at it. Volume a little bit too much for me back here on Friday's close. What is that? 7.8 million shares. We'll look at something else here. NCS, NCI Building Systems, of course, home builders, the butt of all the Wall Street jokes these days, going through its September 7th low at 1305 with 5 million shares. Not a whole lot of volume left in these things. When we talked last Thursday, 834,000, actually Wednesday, Thursday, 600,000, a little less than 920,000 shares on Friday. Today, just 324,000. Again, it'll be interesting to see what we see in these. Did I go back far enough? I need to go back a little farther. There is this nice gap, though, that, I mean, is about 50 cents away. Yeah, at about 12 bucks. So keeping an eye on that. To OIS, which I think had earnings out before the bell today. Is that right? Ocean States? I think they did. Going through its March 2nd low of $23.65 that had 2.1 million shares with 5 million shares, or excuse me, 543,000 shares, 652,000 shares on Friday, 444 on Thursday, and 458. So certainly back on some fairly light volume testing this March 2nd low. You don't have any reversals. And again, I guess what you're probably looking at is this 2.2 million share low from October 27th of 2017, where this one spiked down, and you are very close to getting into that level of support. Energy on the way up, very good, 3.4. Energy on the way back, about 30% light with a 2.3 on my power law vector indicator. So giving an idea that any kind of reversal on energy in the next couple of days would be very interesting. Quarvo, QRVO. What do we have here? Yeah, I think this one was looking a little bit better the other day. Of course, Red Hat being bought out by IBM today. You can take a look at this one. This is where you have to worry about the big news coming out. And certainly Red Hat had that big news today with IBM buying them out. Some people said that the last opportunity for IBM keep relevant in the years ahead was to get into the cloud business. And of course, Red Hat, really big in the cloud business, minus the biggest players who do their own and roll their own stuff. But these guys do a lot of software and support for big organizations that use Linux instead of Microsoft Word or Microsoft Windows and all the Windows servers and all the other stuff that have. Actually, this is probably some of the best news that Microsoft could be in, because some people won't do business with IBM, and my guess is there'll probably be a net loser of a little bit of business. Now, Microsoft opened up and, of course, rolled over with everything else today, out here at about mid 104s as we sit this. But the S&P that did go south for a few minutes is up about 2.5 points. Not a huge move, but you know, anything below, this thing could probably have just ripped 100 points lower if it is weak as many people said it was. It's actually going to hold here for a little while. Samango Biosciences, SGMO. This one actually had too much volume on it. Let's take a look at SSW, which is C-SPAN. This one is a freighting company. I tell you what, the energy on the way back, other than on Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday last week, has been very good. This is a nice chart pattern, with the exception of the one bad day. And of course, came down with 1.7 million shares compared to the 4.5 million shares it came up with on April 20th. So if you're thinking that this deal does get done with China, and you need, I'm pretty sure this is, let me check just to make sure. I think this is one of these freight companies, if I'm not mistaken. Charter and owner of management of container ships in Hong Kong. Company charters its container ships under long-term fixed-rate charters to various container companies. But for me, this thing probably is a good play. You're down 30% off, or more than 30% off the highs going back to July 9th. And any, you know, I don't say today, but any thought of a deal with China would be a nice 30% play, probably back up to the high side on that. Now we're down 2 points on the S&P cash. So, and off 75 on the NASDAQ and 87 on the Dow. Okay. What else do we have out here? Testing the highs. We don't have a lot of stocks doing that lately, but Store Capital, STOR, has the July 29th, 2016 high of $29.35. You got into that with more volume on Thursday of last week. Got a little reversal on Friday, like all the rest of the stocks, holding fairly strong today. Let's see what these guys do, because this not a lot of stocks at the highs today. Internally management, net lease real estate investment trust in the leader acquisition and management of single tenant operational retail estates. Store Capital is one of the largest, fastest growing net lease REITs and owns a large, well-diversified portfolio exists of investments of over 2,000 properties. Well, this is interesting. It's at its highs. I can't think of too many other stocks at their highs today. STOR is the best looking house, apparently in a bad neighborhood. Synchrony Financial, SYF, 28.43 on the July 23rd low with 11 million shares. Got into it with 8 million shares, a little lighter. Tried to bounce it a little bit. Still needs to close above 28.43, but light volume so far with a little hammer out here at about, let's call it under 3 million shares compared to that 11 million share. Tahoe Resources. Okay. We've got, you're just going sideways out here. Certainly not a lot of pressure on this one today. 1.9, almost 2 million shares as we go to the break, but I don't see any signal in it yet. we get back, we'll look at Tiffany's, Twillo, a few of these other ones that look like they were doing fairly good before the tariffs hit today. We'll be back in a minute.
Jason Path has just launched his weekly newsletter, The Quantitative Edge, available only at TFNN.com. Right now, you can sign up for Jason's outstanding weekly report, including midweek updates whenever warranted, with a 30-day money-back guarantee included, so you have nothing to risk. Jason develops his trade recommendations by creating an ensemble of predictive and mathematical models trained on data by leveraging a variety of techniques, including market-based computer simulations. Jason then combines these sophisticated predictive and analytical models with deeply researched macro outlooks to identify opportunities in a number of different markets for traders to act on. Whether you're looking to trade futures, equities, commodities like crude oil and gold, forex, or cryptos, Jason covers it all. Sign up for Jason Path's weekly trading newsletter right now by visiting the front page of TFNN.com, and you'll find the Quantitative Edge under the Newsletters tab. TFNN.com, educating investors. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And as we check in on volume, doing 5.5 billion shares already in CBO stock, and we're keeping an eye on everything else. Down 11 points on the S&P cash now. NASDAQ down 101. Dow off 160. Russell still positive, almost 4 points higher again. Tariffs favor companies that only do business in the United States, and that's why the Russell continues to outperform, but not by much today. Again, if this kind of turns, maybe a little weaker on the upside if the market starts moving on any kind of positive news of a deal with China and tariffs. Tiffany's and Company. Beautiful pattern out here, up on 12.6 million shares on the 23rd of May, went up to 141.64, pulled back on lighter volume. There's been a couple of days where this thing had a bad hair day, especially on the 10th of October. But now that we're back into this gap, fairly light volume, 1.5 million shares on Thursday, 1.5 million shares last Tuesday. And that, of course, against the 12.6 million shares up back in May. So there are some stocks out here with some fairly decent patterns. A lot of thunder and rain, though, in the broad markets, and that continues to be the issue we have out here. Now, if you're thinking short, you've got two options, and that is one that you're right. The other one is that we're banging out a fairly long-term bottom, and we will have to wait till the end of the day to figure that out, see whether or not they took just one more swing at washing everybody out here today on this news. Anything else out here that we are looking at? I think that's about it before we go and sign off for the day. Off 7.5 points on the S&P cash. Again, we're going into fund buying in the next few days, so there may be an offset or at least some support for the next few days. But fund buying this entire week. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.